What's up, Broker Playbook Nation? This is your boy Simeon Papalias, and today I have the pleasure of bringing Storm Fletcher, business development for Richard Robbins International. She has been the vice president of the firm for a very long time, and her insight today is going to be invaluable into how coaching actually helps your business stay on track through the years of up markets, down markets, and everything in between. We're going to be talking to the Richard Robbins International system of lifetime referrals and how coaching can bring 25 to 30% return on your database. This is one you do not want to miss. See you shortly.
Welcome to Broker's Playbook. We are so excited to have our special guest today, Storm. You are such a force, of course. I am rhyming like crazy, and I'm just so excited to have Storm Fletcher, the VP of Sales for Richard Robbins International. She's been a coach and sales development leader there for 18 fabulous years, changing hundreds of lives. Their primary goal is to coach and empower real estate agents and mortgage brokers across Canada and the world. She is going to share with us today on the power of coaching. Storm, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Really excited to be here.
Welcome to the show, my good friend, Storm Fletcher. I couldn't be more excited to have you here for you to share your message, and some of that magic that we're going to hear today is going to be surrounding the systems that Rich Robbins and that entire organization, they've created a system for lifelong referrals, a touch point system, a coaching system that just brings out the absolute best in both realtors, mortgage brokers, books of business. So, I couldn't be more excited to hear all about it. Laura, take us anywhere you see, lady.
Honestly, Storm, I would love some coaching on how to create these lifelong relationships, because I think something I struggle with personally is I'm a bit one and done. You know what I mean? Like when you're urgent, when you're in my zone, when I'm currently doing your deal, obviously I'm all over it. But then that post-closing follow-up, it's like, of course I could put you into the CRM and I could send you meaningless birthday messages. But, what could you do to really, I'm not saying like specifically what do I need to do, because obviously that's like freaking call them. Change this mindset where I'm thinking to do it, because everything starts in the mind, right?
It's so funny that you say that, because there's a couple of different things. The biggest mistake that I see in this industry, this and mortgage, is consistency. We don't bring consistency to our behaviors. And I'll tell you why. In all industries, especially when you're dealing with the exchange of money, shall we say, there is this thing that you are only successful based on the result that you produce. And while having a goal and an objective of what your result is massively important, it is the one thing you cannot freaking control. The only thing that you can control is your behaviors.
Right.
And when we are inconsistent in our behaviors, when we get pulled to what's urgent, we lose focus on what's important. And this is it's a relationship business. No matter what business that you're in, the business is as deep and as rich as the relationships that you form. So I want everybody to think for a minute. If you were to meet your future spouse, partner, whatever that looks like, and you were only to talk to them every 6 months, and when you talk to them every 6 months, it was sharing details about you, how deep and how rich would your relationship be? And would they be running out and telling everybody, oh my goodness, you got to model my relationship? So it's a relationship business. That is it, period.
Yeah, I say that a lot. This could be a really great learning opportunity for people because it's not just the technical details, the process, how much you know about the market, how much you know lenders, what your book of business is like. It's more about like this business development mindset and like that always trying to add to your network.
I always say, excuse my French, the road to hell is paved with great ideas. And there is no shortage of great ideas out there. And when you are of an entrepreneurial mindset, when that is kind of the nature of who you are, and I find a lot that are in the mortgage industry and in the real estate industry, we're very entrepreneurial. You tend to bounce from thing to thing to thing. Ooh, that's a great idea. Ooh, that's a great idea. And
shiny subject syndrome. It's 100%.
And I equate it to this. When you don't stay the course in one. So it's like have 3 strategies, commit fully and execute on those. If you're constantly bouncing, it is honestly the equivalent of getting up every single morning and going, I'm going to climb that mountain, and getting just about to the top and going, oh, I'm not getting the results I wanted, I quit. And then going and pick another mountain the next day.
So wait, you said have 3 strategies and commit fully to those.
Yes. So strategy number 1 would be your relationship nurturing strategy. How are you going to continue to develop your relationships prior to the business happening and then long after? Number 2, the next strategy is how do you bring continuity and authenticity to who it is, what it is that you do, and doing that with consistency. So what is your consistency for execution? Number 3, what are your primary behaviors that you need to do? The big mistake that we do is we look at somebody who has success. And what we want to do is we go, oh, you're really, really successful. I'm just going to do what you're going to do. Mistake. There's nothing wrong with mirroring success, but eventually you've got to breathe it in, embody it, breathe it out as your own.
Well, because execution is so different. So somebody can look at my book of business and say, I'm going to do it exactly the same way. Well, you can't because you're not me.
100%.
When you're doing it, you're going to do it your way. Even though you think you have the right steps, it's like it's no different than a bread recipe. Unless you follow it, which is what they say, baking is a science, not a craft.
Yes.
If you want to be a pioneer, you're a craftsman. But if you want to make good bread, you better follow the recipe, or else that Gordon Ramsay bread that you see on TV is not going to be Gordon Ramsay bread.
Yes.
So either you stick to the fundamentals and follow it to a T, which is where, again, we're going to talk about coaching. We're going to talk about the systems. Because if you don't, and you just helter-skelter everything, every single morning you're going to wake up exactly facing that big mountain and thinking that it's your shoes. Oh, no, I'm going to get the better pole. No, I need a bigger knapsack. No, you don't.
Absolutely.
You need to just walk up the goddamn mountain.
Well, and I think we can all agree, one of the biggest challenges we're having, we're seeing it massively. We've got huge burnout. We've got massive fatigue and burnout because people have been just hairy-carry, being chased around, no structure, no systems, and they're at the mercy of everybody else. And so when you bring it back, this is a business, is it not? We are all business owners. We own our own little book of business. And if you can't have the bandwidth to stand back and really look at and analyze, what am I doing, what's working, what's not? When all we're doing is chasing the result, then you're going to grind and burn out year over year over year. And then you are not at the highest and best service to your clients. How can you possibly nurture a relationship when you've got nothing in you? So you've got to be able to stand back and pour into yourself, take that time, so then you're able to pour it all back into other people.
So I love that Simeon was just talking about how are you going to get up that mountain? You know, is it the poles? Is it the shoes? And I read something the other day that was referring to mentors and coaches as the Sherpa, specifically with the Mount Everest example. Not a single soul has gone up Everest without a Sherpa. And we're talking about most people wouldn't dare go up Everest, right? So
I would not. I can speak to me specifically. I have zero.
Me either.
None.
So you're getting this like 0.001% of the ultras that have been training their whole lives, and they still wouldn't be able to do it despite their million hours of training without a Sherpa. And the Sherpa is that guide. They know the lay of the land. they know, like they have this like, in-depth connection that's like at a molecular level.
They are the mountain.
Federation, right? And so would you say that a coach is like a Sherpa, and would you say that there's no way to get up that mountain without one?
You know what? I would only differentiation I will make you can get up the mountain without one. But when you get to the top of the mountain, what state are you in? What condition are you in? Is your body healthy enough? Have you gone the right way that you're able to get back down the mountain? Because for every mountain you climb, you got to come back down and climb again. And so can you get to the top of the mountain? I have had the privilege of knowing many great humans who have created a tremendous level of success in their business without a coach. But when they come to us, they're exhausted, they're run ragged. And to even get them to release 10 minutes of bandwidth of time to be able to train somebody or give someone dump, delegate, or do, it's a lot more work. It's way easier to form good habits and learn the path than it is to break bad ones.
So just before we leave the topic, because she's talking about a Sherpa, we're talking about coaching. What makes a coach? So give me a little bit about maybe your background, because we didn't touch on your bio. Tell me a little bit about why I should listen to your advice. And I'm speaking this not from a funny place, but literally. What makes Storm Fletcher somebody to listen to? Why are you a good coach?
I'll tell you why. The one thing that none of us have the ability to do is to truly see ourselves through others' eyes. And we get so locked into a belief and idea of who we are and what we want to do. To have someone who's not attached to that and stand from the back, think of it this way. A coach, when you would listen to them, remember when GPS first came out, everybody? GPS was like, oh my God, it changed our lives. You got in your car, you punched in a destination, and off you went. But the original GPS didn't know when a street was a one-way, wouldn't tell you about traffic, wouldn't tell you all those things. So you might be driving along, get stuck in traffic, detours, all of it, okay? But you're in it. You're just in your car, you're going. So then along came the app called Waze. Waze tells you if there's red light cameras, if there's potholes, is there police, and it's going ahead of you 20 kilometers at all times. So you don't have to hit the detours. You don't have to hit the speeding. You don't have to hit any of it. That's what coaching is. They get an objective and a goal in mind with you. Who are you? Let's get clear. Where are you right now? You cannot get where you want to go unless you first figure out where the hell you are. So let's get really clear on where you are. And then objectively, they don't have the same emotions.
So what are the steps? So what happens? So let's say I want to start coaching tomorrow.
Sure.
What are the actual steps? So let's say, for example, myself, I have a small team. Me and a mortgage broker have teamed up. We're a real estate and mortgage duo, very common in this business. What are the steps for us to structure? Let's say we're doing great production, we're happy, but we're getting bogged down. What are the questions that you're going to ask? How do you determine where we are?
So we figure out it's almost like a little mini audit. So we audit your business practices. We audit what you've done in the past. We audit what your personality is. We get clear on what is it that you love. One of the things we ask a lot is if there was something that you never had to do again, what would it be? List it here. So we get really, really clear on who you are as a person, what's important to you as a person. Are you married? Do you have children? Do you have a team? What have you done in your business to date? And then if everything that you've done has gotten you where you are now, if you continue to just repeat that pattern, you're going to stay where you are.
Correct.
So if you want to go from where you are to say, let's just make up a number. So you're starting at 250, you want to go to 5. If you continue to do the same things you've always done, you're going to continue to produce that result. So we analyze it and go, okay, so this is where you are. You want to be over here. What is it that we can change? We don't cannonball your business. It's not about coming in and going, now we're just going to teach you how to do it our way. That doesn't work. It's about who are you? What do you love to do? What are you passionate about? What have you done? Now, maybe we just need to change the trajectory 5 degrees. Maybe we just need to add something over here. Maybe we need to remove something over here. So it's a continuous audit of behaviors and business principles and practices, and then a revisit. So often when you join any kind of coaching, it's like, okay, where do you want to be 10 years from now? Now, while it's really important, guys, to have strategy and idea of where you want to be in 10 years in your business, as you evolve, your strategies can change. Where are you right now? Where do you want to be next? Okay, let's build that bridge.
Are you process and habit focused? Are you result focused? Is there a hybrid? Because I've heard many different schools of thought. I've heard the hardcore results count, everything else is nonsense. Obviously, I personally am not a believer in that strategy. I believe process is everything, meaning that when you do the right things, the result is automatic. Others may agree or may not agree. What is your personal stance? What is the stance of your organization on process and habits versus result only?
Process and habit lead to result. And so I don't know about you, I don't want to work for free. The result that we produce is massively important. And so it's not like you come in and it's all whimsical and fluffy and, oh, it doesn't matter that you didn't make any money this month. Right. You just had the right behaviors. Go, go, go. Right. That's not it at all. No. It's more about let's hone in on what behaviors that you do that we're going to execute on and fine tune the process behind it. That's the important part. So if you just focus on results, you get burned out and you change tactics too often. If you focus on the system,
because you're always looking for result, which is short term, as opposed to process and habit, where will lead you to a system of referrals, etc. Because I really want to get into that system right now.
Yes. Well, because if you think about consistency, guys, if our goal every single day, and I'm going to do realtor speak for a moment, but I want you to think of this from a mortgage advisor perspective as well. But if I wake up every single morning and my goal is to find a buyer or seller, I am relevant to maybe 5% of the population at any given time. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be relevant to 5. I want to be relevant to 100. And the way that you're relevant to 100 is by having the ability to nurture existing relationships and open new relationships through that nurturing. Imagine for a moment, guys, if you create that kind of loyalty, you don't make it about you, you make it about them always. Not a buyer, not a seller, a homeowner or a potential homeowner. If you make it about that, you're freaking golden. You're golden because you're always looking to open up new relationships. What if I were to tell you?
So what is the value proposition there? So you're not looking at the customer, you're looking at a client, you're not looking at a transaction, you're looking at a solution. Take me further. So what is the mindset? What is the actual playbook that we're serving up right now? Is the way we look at the transaction? Is it the way we look at our fellow human being?
Are we looking to go with anything, right? Like, hey, can I support your business or your restaurant? Or can I help with your...
give me an example. You're in a lineup at Starbucks.
Yeah.
How do you act in that lineup in Starbucks? You're not there to pick up clients, but as business owners, we're there to get coffee. So we're supporting a business and we're going to take... when we can, how do we provide value in a lineup where somebody would want to connect with us?
I mean, usually I'll remark on a quip, like most of my value is making them smile, right? Just saying something funny.
You bet. Well, and I always say as well, I'm a shoe girl.
But making somebody brighter is what you're getting at.
Yes, and connection, finding a common thread. A relationship is about common threads. So we may not all speak the same language and connect at the same level. But if I can see another person who loves shoes, be it man or woman, from 100 miles away. So I'm a shoe girl. So when I'm in a lineup, I'm always looking for an opportunity to really, really connect with people, to bring joy, bring laughter, bring great conversation. And so I will always find someone in that lineup who has a great pair of shoes, my kindred spirit. And I will call out to them, great shoes.
So is the lesson here in order for relationships to open, because if I told you this is the question I get 5 trillion times in the last 15 years from my new agents. Well, I don't know anybody. What am I supposed to do? The answer is go out there and meet people. But then they're like, well, what do you say? Mm-hmm. And I say, because I believe very much in what Laura said, I make people laugh.
Yes.
I'm not a freaking clown. I'm not out to make people laugh. But I'm out to make people's day better.
Yes.
So you're leading the world with positivity in a meaningful way, meaning that person being in the lineup, you can choose to be quiet, which does nothing for no one.
Nope.
You can choose to be an asshole, for lack of a better term, because that's the only thing you can be when you're an asshole. So the people who are like, oh, I was here first. Oh, push. Are you done ordering yet? All those people. Those are the people. Those are the stains on the planet. Those are the people who like to destroy and bring people down.
Humans.
Or you can be, right?
Well, and you got to think of it this way as well. We're different types of personalities. So the most important piece here is, how do I connect with somebody? So if I've got somebody who's really gregarious and outgoing and loves to connect with people, very social, I'm going to give them all kinds of tips that they can do to connect with people in lineups, wherever they are. Have a word. So one of the things, if someone asks me how I'm doing, how often in your day do you get asked how you're doing? Living life, selling houses. Oh, you're a realtor? I sure am. And then, curiosity comes.
Things.
But let's say that you're not that person. You're more of an introvert. Go and sit in a coffee shop. Go up to the till. Give them $50. And say, for the next $50 worth of sales that come through for coffee, they're on me. And all that I'm asking you to do in return, I'm going to be sitting over there in the corner. Can you just point and say, coffee's on Storm today? Reciprocity is that at least 25% of those people are going to come over and thank me for that gift. In that moment, I have an opportunity. But I want to just flip the script here for a minute if I can. Do you mind?
Yes. No, I don't
I want
mind
you
at
to
all.
think about this for a second, guys. In business, so often when we have that opportunity to connect, maybe we have a great conversation. What is automatically 9 times out of 10 that happens at the end of the conversation? We say, or they say, you know, I really enjoyed our conversation. Do you have a card? And we give them our business card. And we walk away thinking, oh, God, that was so great. What a great conversation. They walk away feeling the same way. But then life happens. How the hell do I nurture a relationship through my business card? I can't. So I don't give out business cards. If I really connect with somebody, I automatically say to them, do you have a business card, Storm? You know what? Actually, I don't. But what's your cell number? I'll text you my contact details. I've
100%.
set myself up as a contact in my phone. So I don't do digital cards. I don't do any of that because, again, I'm giving the control to someone else. The minute I text them my contact details, guess what I have? I have their contact details. I walk away in my phone. I immediately take that number. I add it to my contacts. I put down their name. Most of the time, I only know their first name. But then I make a special note. What was our thread? Where did we meet? What did we talk about? And then a couple weeks later, I'll circle back, and I don't give a shit if I'm sitting at home in my pajamas. I'll circle back and I'll say, hey, you know what? I'm in Starbucks again this morning, and I was thinking about our conversation. How are you? How are you doing? And it is about nurturing. The 5-second elevator speech that we have been taught to do is not healthy and not good when you are first opening up a relationship. Think of it this way. You go to a bar, you see somebody gorgeous across the bar. You guys make eye contact. You walk over and you say, hey, you got 5 minutes for me to tell you all about me? No.
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
be
ma'am.
curious. Be curious.
Drive value first. When you go off, and this is, I've seen this in listing presentations where I shadowed my junior agents. They go in, they just start talking about them, us, a company. What are you doing?
Yeah, who cares? Nobody gives a shit about you or your company.
It's exactly what you just said. Shut up.
Right?
Shut up.
Some dead air, you'll talk yourself out of a deal, man.
Yes. Well, and then think about afterwards, right? So, okay, we've transacted. The deal is closed. Now, this is where we really lean into our lifetime referral system. Guys, we have clients that are consistently producing 22, 25, in some cases, 30% return on database. What does that mean? This system executed, you got 100 people in your database, you are doing 30 deals a year and not just one-offs.
So what is the system?
It is
Define it. I want a five sentence definition.
So you need to have,
is it?
okay, you got to have 70% of your process has to be automated and generic. Why? Because if you don't have it automated and generic, you're not going to be consistent in your connection. It's about staying top of mind. It's about staying in their presence. But you shift it up as far as based on your personality, your communication style, what that is, and then you delegate that process out. So, I don't know, let's use some old school ones, shall we?
Sure.
Newsletter. If you're sending out a newsletter, how do you customize it and make sure that you're speaking to the right language, to the right people in their area? Market updates. What's happening in our markets? What's currently going on? What's happening with mortgage rates? What does it mean to them? If I've got a $500,000 mortgage and it goes up by 0.5 point, what does that mean to me? Bringing that voice of education, and that can be very genetic. You always want to go macro Don't go micro. Macro in your touches for 70% because we want to create curiosity and you always want to give them an opportunity to engage.
And then the 30%?
The 30% is
personal
customized and personal and micro. So you could do manis and mimosas. You could do little client experiences and client events. You could do a coffee. I always say you should meet with your clients in person, belly to belly, face to face, at least 2 times a year.
Minimum.
At least 2 times a year, right? So a lot of people go, oh my God, Storm, I've got 200 clients. Okay. And I how do I meet with them?
Well, let me tell you that belly to belly in 2022 doesn't exactly mean what belly to belly meant in 1999.
Yes.
Because belly to belly right now on Instagram Live is a very intimate experience.
Yes.
It's a very personal experience.
Yes.
Hosting a clubhouse where you educate your clients, 30 of them at a time, about a topic that matters to them.
Yes.
Is belly to belly. Seeing them and dropping by their actual home is belly to belly.
Yes.
But making those micro events is what they're called, because I literally saw a presentation yesterday by one of my very esteemed colleagues, Erica Reddy.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
So brilliant's an understatement.
She's mastered micro events.
So you want to talk about 70-30. 70% keeps you in their inbox.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's just a real estate newsletter. I'll watch it. I won't watch. Doesn't matter. But the 30%, if you don't do the 70, they don't remember you or value your 30%.
Yes. And what do you really want to factor into the 30%? Who are our clients? Our clients are homeowners or potential homeowners, period. So our clients, everybody. And so how do you bring value? Well, do you have a strategic alliance with a window cleaning company? Do you have a strategic alliance with a gardening company? Do you have a strategic, where are your strategic alliances and how do you bring value? When you connect and it's a give. So right now I would be reaching out to all of my clients. First, number 1 step, I would call a window cleaning company and a landscaping company. I would make sure I vet them. It must be someone that you know, like, and trust.
They can deliver the experience.
Yes, they have to be in line with who you are and what you are, period. So you have to be willing to do the work. But guess what, guys? Opportunity looks a whole hell of a lot like hard work. All right. But you got to do the work. But if you go and you interview a window cleaning company, you interview a landscaping company, you interview a furnace cleaning company, you interview a gutter cleaning company, and you then go to them, you know what? I really want to give my clients an opportunity to engage with your services. I want to promote your company to my clients. Free marketing, hello? In exchange, I'd like to know, what can we offer my clients? So for window cleaning, it's spring. Have you looked out your windows lately? It's horrible. So I would be going to my clients and saying, spring is here. Thank goodness. What a long winter. I've got this company that I've partnered with and they're offering my clients 15% off of their first window cleaning service. If you want to take advantage of that, just please mention my name when you call. It's a give. So the other 30% has to be specific, targeted, and giving. It must be
Give them a reason, and once you start doing that once, twice, 3 times, people are going to grow accustomed to actually expect value that's actually real short-term gain, such as if you're like a business person that goes 2-for-1 pizza, whether it's $50 off the planters at the local garden center, all the different things. They're going to be like, well, let's see what she's got this time, because this one's crazy.
Yes.
She always goes and gets me all these crazy little things.
Yes, always. Because think about it for a minute, guys. What is the greatest challenge that we have? The greatest challenge we have is, how do we differentiate ourselves and how do we define our value? And if we are all saying and doing the exact same things and we're not investing any piece of ourselves into our relationships, the client sees a pack of zebras. Therefore, there is no loyalty and they'll choose anybody because you're the same as everybody else. So if you want to stand out and differentiate yourself, you've got to be willing to do the work. And the only way that I know to do that, it has to be structured. Guys, look at our phone rings. A client needs something. We get pulled in 500 different directions. If we do not systemize this, would you build a freaking house without laying the foundation first? No, you would never do it. Oh, but I don't want to worry about the foundation. I just want to worry about the pretty walls. Well, your pretty walls are going to crumble and fall down if your foundation is shit.
That's right.
Okay, so let's talk about structure a bit. Structure and consistency is like, that's my mountain. Structure and consistency are my mountains.
There are too many bad agents out there. With Brokers Playbook training, we aim to change the game in real estate. We want to make the real estate industry a better place for all. That starts with you becoming the best agent that you can be. Whether it's communication skills, organizational skills, or just building better habits to ensure that you're doing the right things at the right time and doing right by your clients, you can learn that all here with Brokers Playbook training and the Rising Agent Mastery program. Head over to brokersplaybook.com, select the training tab, and find out everything that RAMP and all of our other programs have to offer for you.
So, I try my best. I have several planners, Google Calendar, notebooks, affirmations, whiteboards. I try.
How's that working for you?
And why?
Yeah. No, do you know why?
Why do you ask, Storm?
Do you know why I say that? Because look, it's not a lack of that, but here's the challenge. And I'll do an analogy this way. And I can babble for hours, guys. Shut me up.
I just have to remind her one thing, though. Anybody can say whatever they want.
Yes.
We're talking about somebody that's like, just to make this very clear, Laura, you operate at the highest level on many different businesses. So, and you are still the person to say that this is my mount. This is my Golgotha.
Yes.
If anybody knows what Golgotha is, it's the mountain that Jesus had to walk up carrying the cross.
Yes.
So the fact that you know where your Achilles heel is, the fact that I know as a fact, because right before this podcast started, we were talking about my calendar, and she goes, so where's your time block? Where's your time? And I was laughing. It does like this. She goes, no, that's not funny. Like you're going to lose. Yeah. So it doesn't matter who you are.
I don't account for travel time. I don't account for a meeting taking longer. I don't account for something coming up. I don't account for, hey, I need my meditation time and my lunch time. And this, maybe I might be burnt out by 3. So just stop booking things by after.
Yes.
So I want to be very sensitive to this only because what the takeaway here, because we have a coach in the house, one of the highest regarded coaches in the house, is the fact that Laura is coachable.
Yeah.
I know as a fact that I am coachable.
Yeah.
I change things all the time with absolute intent.
Yeah.
Whether I'm comfortable or uncomfortable, I'll do what I need to do. So let's take Laura, because what Laura struggles with is probably the most common struggle across our industry, including I know I have gotten better, but I still have miles to go. Because my consistency has only improved because I delegated it. So me personally has not improved as much as I'm paying to ensure I have it.
You pay now.
Do you know what I mean? So I do want our coach. I just wanted to preface that whole thing because you need to be able to identify your issues if you're ever going to get a coach. Do not pay a coach if you are not coachable.
Yeah.
But then, and I'll add here though, I don't believe that anybody is not coachable. It's about when you're not coachable, when somebody comes in and tries to bulldoze you and your business and your life. You have to be a great coach. You have to be a great listener. You have to be able to really identify. And then think of it this way. The challenge we all have is that mountain of things getting out of control and spiraling. But here's what we do. Think of it this way. So has anybody ever eaten way too much chocolate over Christmas and way too much food, and you wake up Jan 1, you go, oh my God, I gained 20 pounds.
I have.
Yeah, right? And then you're going like, oh, that's it. I'm never eating sugar again. And then by Wednesday, you're driving in your car trying to figure out where to hide the chocolate bar wrapper. Because when we make all-encompassing statements and we try to change everything all at once, it doesn't work. You have to do it in bites. So it is, if you want to make a change in your business, I would never suggest to anybody that you go into your calendar and you time block and try and schedule everything all at once, because it becomes a freaking elephant and you will never live into it. You won't have time to form the habit. So I think about it this way. If I wanted to eliminate sugar from my diet, the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go, okay, I'm not going to have sugar on Mondays. And until I wake up on Monday morning and I don't go, oh shit, it's no sugar day, I don't add another day. As soon as Monday just becomes another day, then I add Tuesday. So when you're starting off in your life and you're like, oh my gosh, this, and you try to change it all, don't. Start with a bite.
Well,
so one day.
It's the resolution versus lifestyle change, right?
Yes.
Like my personal trainer just ripped me. He goes, why 2-3 days a week? You have to work out every day. And working out every day doesn't mean, because this is happening to me right now. I'm working with a personal trainer right now.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I don't want you to commit to a workout every day because I know you're not going to do it. Factually, I've seen hundreds of you, motivated, intense individuals just like you, Simeon. What you're going to do is you're going to see me twice a week, but the other days you're going to go for a walk, play with your kid. You're going to be active. Don't tell me you're going to work out. Don't tell me you're going to train.
Take the stairs. Don't take an elevator.
So he goes, work activity into your life. You seeing me 3 times a week is 300% more than what you used to do.
Or work an experience into it as well.
Yes.
If I write down, let's say I've got
he said
dream.
bites. Stop the elephant. Bites.
Yes.
Bites.
Because think of it this way. If I say, you know what, one day I would really love to go to Australia for a month. Yeah, it's great. One day I want to go to Australia with my daughter. I want to spend a month and I want to have this experience and this experience and this experience. I have way more attachment to that. So, but you have to start slow, guys. Start slow. What is the one habit that you want to form in your business? And then don't overcommit. When we reach a goal, you see there's an endorphin, dopamine fires off in our body. And we're like, I really like the way that feels. I want more of that. When we overcommit to things and we don't execute, the opposite happens. And we're like, that shit doesn't work. I don't want to be bothered with it. I'm not that person. It won't work for me. And that is just a garbage story that we tell ourselves. But you have to be able to start slow and slowly build so that you put in that consistent behavior and structure. So one day, I want everybody that's listening right now, if you struggle with self-management, I hate the word time management, self-management. If your business and your schedule is out of control, first of all, have mercy on yourself, please. We are human beings, not human doings, right? We're human beings, not human doings. So we are not judged by that. But I want you to check one day. And in that one day, I want you to put in a 2-hour window. And in that 2-hour window, you are focused on you. You are the most important relationship you will ever have is with yourself. So in that 2-hour window, how are you going to pour into yourself and strategize? In my calendar, guys, like I'm booked solid almost every day, all day. But there are gaps in my calendar that it doesn't matter. If somebody runs past me on fire, I do not surrender that time unless I'm absolutely certain they can't find the fire extinguisher on their own. So you've got to be that regimented about it. It must be a non-negotiable, but a non-negotiable starts small.
Right. So I do definitely block like mini hours for planning and scheduling, but then my issue is poor, I guess, I only have a fancy term for it. It's called cognitive discounting. So it's like not knowing how I'm going to feel in that moment. And then suddenly I'm there and things are much different than I expected. Right. So it's like I'm planning everything on Sunday and I've got my whole week planned out. But then by the time I get to Wednesday, Thursday, things have morphed so much that I'm like, I've thrown the plan out the window.
Yes. So then that honestly is where a coach really comes into play with helping, because what they are able to do is they're able to help you identify those patterns. Where are it? There is consistency in all things. So I say the word thread so much, but there's thread. So there's something common that's happening throughout all of that when we're in it, we can't identify it. But when somebody's strategically looking at and analyzing and auditing always, they're able to help identify what is something that's happening in this pattern that continues to produce that result. And then it's a small tweak and a small change. The first step isn't the blocking. The first step is the commitment to it. And when we go in and we block something and then we commit, that's the reverse. You first have to make the commitment. Right? And I always say, and again, it's not meant to be hard ass, because look, I know that there are days where it just goes sideways. But one of the big words that I just totally despise is that word try. And it's like, if I were to say to you right now, pick up that coffee cup, you're going to reach over and you're going to pick up the coffee cup. There's no trying. You either are or you are not. And when you say, I'm going to try something, what you are literally doing is you are giving yourself an escape hatch out of success. Because when you say try, you are leaving the door open that there is failure as an option. And when failure is an option, you've opened up an escape hatch and you will always be able to dive out of it. So you have to make it a non-negotiable, not trying, 100% not a try, a do. And small.
So do you recommend like a heavily regimented schedule with some white space?
Again, it's so individualized. It's so specific on the person, the personality. Like, I would not recommend any one way. There's not one way to do things. There is a strategy of something that works, and then you bleed it into who that person is that you're specifically dealing with. I cannot imagine what my life would be like without my calendar.
Correct.
And it forces me because I've got a Calendly link out there always. You can go onto our website in my email signature and you can book an appointment with me anytime. So because of that, it forces me to be very, very, very disciplined with my calendar because I wear many hats.
That's right.
I'm the VP of sales and business development. I coach, I train, I speak. There's so many moving parts to our businesses. And so because of that, I have to be willing to show up and be present in every single interaction that I have in my life.
And I have to agree. Running literally 4 different businesses, having over, at this point, probably 90 staff between those businesses, and being responsible for so many different things. It doesn't matter if you're just starting the business and you're trying to adjust and learn how a business is, you're still going to have to schedule it. So if you're starting out, you need to schedule your prospecting the first 2 hours, your email follow-up, your door knocking, your digital door knocking, your relationships, your family. If you look at my calendar today, for the very first time of my life, in the last year, I have now scheduled my family. Some people may laugh. Some people may call me like you're a sick person, that you have to schedule your family. I say F you to anybody. This is how I run my life. If I was looking for judges, I would ask. I don't. So I'm sharing to you what actually works.
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. At 6 p.m., it says Gabriel Baseball. At 8 p.m., it says Simeon Personal Trainer. Thursday, Gabriel Baseball. 8 o'clock, Personal Trainer. Thursday mornings from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. is business development. It's blocked off, shown as busy. Monday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., it's blocked off business development. Why? Because on Mondays, I'm going to get 40 calls from my agents. This is what's happening. I need this. I cannot take on new appointments and new business while that's happening. You're not going to be effective. So this is what I've done. So if I were to share my screen, you would be like, you're a maniac. You're not normal. But what people don't realize is that that's a 10-minute call, but it has to be followed up on Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Yes.
Actually, you've
That's
just
how you
hit
succeed.
a light bulb moment because this is awesome. And this is exactly what I was hoping to create. But so Storm said, look for the thread, right? And what Simeon said is on Mondays, it is a known and a given that I'm going to get flooded with calls and I cannot take on new business. So you acquiesce to that, thereby blocking it off. And so one idea would be to look at my day timer in the past bunch of weeks and say, what happens anyway?
Yeah. 100%.
Yes.
And think of it this way as well. Like, we're so fortunate, guys. Think about, okay, I'm going to kick old school, okay? Birthdays.
I'm just going to remind everybody we're running at 45 minutes and this is over. Our listeners are going to punch us.
Yeah.
So last idea.
Okay. So think of it this way. If you've got clients and you can look at it and you can go, okay, in the month of June, I've got 45 clients that are having birthdays. You can block off in the morning when there's no noise in your world, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, quiet time. You go in and you literally record 45 quick minute videos. Hey, it's your birthday. Hope you have an amazing day. Then you delegate to your assistant or whomever that this video goes out on this day, done, out of your brain. So making sure that you have that key time. For me, it's mornings. Our business hours start at 8:30 in the morning. I'm not kidding you guys. I am at my desk by 5:30 every single morning. And that gives me 3 hours before the noise
Before the world wakes up.
starts. I send videos off to my brokers. I connect with my clients. I follow up on actionable items with coaching. I do all of that before you're even out of bed. Before you're out of bed, and it just makes the days. And for some people, they go, "Oh my God, you're up at 5."
So I don't think it's a coincidence. Again, what we're running into here, you are a nationally renowned coach and organization, and you're now sharing things that you do that are your daily habits, which just happen to be the daily habits of every single person who is actually consistently winning. Because if you want to win consistently, you cannot be competing with your screaming daughter, your 6-year-old son who needs to get his butt wiped. It just doesn't happen. And those are realities. You're not going to not take care of your kids.
No.
But if you're not up at 5 to have 2 hours of alone time, you're never going to get it, because they're going to be up at 6:45, 7 o'clock. And they need breakfast, and they need their faces washed. And did you brush your teeth? So before the noise, forget, even if you don't have kids, the dog, even if you don't have a dog, the phone, the distractions.
Yes.
So everybody has their own distractions. But I just wanted to pinpoint that as a coach, you're giving us tactics and practical things, but also you're uncovering, what does a successful coach do as a business owner? Well, I'm up at 5:30 recording my bombs that are going to connect Simeon to Bridget, and I'm going to bring value to both of them, and they're going to call me back and tell me how much they love me, and they're going to give me something back because they owe me. And this is the real world of success.
Yes.
Constantly bringing value to others. You don't owe me nothing, but you do it. I owe you nothing, but now I'm going to do it. And the more we do, the more we receive.
Yeah. And I'll just say, like, for anybody, you guys that is interested, we do not ever believe in hard selling our coaching. It's not our approach at all, ever. But if anybody is ever interested in booking a call to learn a little bit more, have a strategy session with me for 30 minutes.
100%.
Let's jam and talk about your business and what your pain points are. I'm going to share my Calendly link. And it can go out with this podcast if you guys choose. I am 100 billion trillion % in. Let's jam. Let's connect. I believe passionately, Simos, that there is a solution for every problem,
100%.
but you will always find what it is that you are looking for. And sometimes what we are looking for, there's a powerful book. It's called The Road Less Stupid by Keith J. Cunningham. And he talks about, we build a machine
He's
for a
brilliant,
problem that isn't.
He's brilliant.
Right?
Keith Cunningham is
Brilliant. Brilliant. There's dry parts of it, but I'm telling you, feed your mind, feed your soul, feed your business, nurture your relationships, enlist the help of others, dump, delegate, or do. Invest in your business, whatever that looks like. Quit looking for the bright and shiny opportunity. It looks a whole hell of a lot like hard work, but you don't have to work dumb. You can work smart.
100%. I love that you just ended with like 10 perfect cliche phrases. So
I don't know anybody that can pack that much punch into one show. Like, it's exhausting. Like, I'm just trying to process this. Storm Fletcher, you are a legend. You are absolutely phenomenal, brilliant, and I love you genuinely. Thank you for coming to visit me. Thank you for joining Laura and I and trying to create value in our marketplace by sharing such insight. As far as I'm concerned, you're going to have a permanent place inside Broker's Playbook. For sure, only because Richard Robbins International is probably one of the only organizations, not one of the only, there's one of very few organizations in that space that I trust holistically, that have performed and have a track record of walking the walk for their clients, which is mortgage brokers and real estate agents. So I strongly urge everyone to explore it, to see if it's right for you, and try to contact Storm at your earliest for your own good, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
Thank
and
you.
for all the Clubhouse users out there, Storm will show you how that is done. Clubhouse, you have 1 million followers. So active, but yeah, you're just such a super connector, super networker. So it's been a pleasure to have you in our audience and in our presence today. And thank you so much for your advice that you shared.
Oh, thank you. It has been my privilege. I have mad love and mad respect for this human being right here and for yourself. What you guys do, what you bring to the table, how you come from a place of service and giving is inspiring. If you're looking for an example to follow these two.
God bless you and thank you. To our entire Brokers Playbook Nation, thank you for joining us. Laura, thank you for introducing this episode. Storm, again, God bless. We'll see you all soon. Take care. Thank you so very much for spending your time with us here at Brokers Playbook. This is a growing community. If you found value in this video, please invite others to subscribe and, of course, share the videos with. We'll see you soon.